Whether you believe in the mysterious lunar matrix theory or not, please watch this video carefully, because it will probably turn your perception of the world upside down. In 2001, British author David Icke, after studying the position of the moon in relation to its volume through math and geometry, came to an alarming conclusion: that the moon is actually a transmitter called the lunar matrix, which is a 12-machine device that was put together by a higher civilization. It emits frequency waves that interfere with human consciousness and perception. And we are the poor prisoners, imprisoned in the 3D Earth and restricted in our cognitive leaps. The purpose is to prevent us from discovering the truth about this world. At the same time, David Icke has proposed some strange phenomena that cannot be explained by astronomy at all. At this point, you realize that the existence of the moon is not as simple as we thought. First of all, when a total solar eclipse occurs, how is it that the moon, which is so different in size from the sun, can block the sun perfectly? According to astronomical data, the sun's diameter is 1.39 million kilometers. While the moon's diameter is only 3,400 kilometers, a difference of 395 times. But coincidentally, the sun is 150 million kilometers away from the Earth, and the moon is 380,000 kilometers away from the Earth. And the difference between the two is exactly 395 times, which means that the size of the moon seems to have been precisely calculated. And the precise control of the distance between the Earth and the moon is even more frightening. Not only that, although the moon is rotating and revolving, but what's amazing is that both the moon's rotation period and its revolution period are 27.3 days. And under the effect of tidal locking, the moon's side is always facing the Earth. So we on Earth can never see the moon in its entirety, and tidal locking not only affects the Earth's tilt and rotation, it also affects the tidal behavior of the oceans. And our bodies are 70% made of water. Does this mean that the moon is also directly affecting human behavior? And finally, the most incomprehensible of all, the Lowe's limit distance. It's the limit distance at which a small mass object approaching a large mass object will be torn apart by the tidal forces and eventually disintegrate, and it's the celestial cordon sanitaire. Once below this distance, smaller objects are pulled apart by the planet's tidal forces and become planetary rings. Conversely, since there is a minimum distance to keep a celestial body in orbit, there is also a maximum distance known as the Hill sphere. This means that a satellite's orbit must be within the planet's Hill sphere, or it will fall out of the planet's gravitational range. So for the moon to be a satellite of the Earth, it has to be within the Lowe's limit and the Hill sphere range. But what's amazing is that the Earth-Moon Lowe's limit is about 13,500 kilometers, and the Hill sphere is about 1.5 million kilometers. Although the moon could orbit anywhere within this range, it chose 380,000 kilometers instead. This is the precise distance that can perfectly create the spectacle of a total solar eclipse. And as a satellite of the Earth, the moon is too large. Its diameter is more than 1/4 of the Earth, even bigger than Pluto. And the largest moon in the solar system, Ganymede, is only 1/27th the diameter of Jupiter. That's why many people believe that the moon was deliberately placed around the Earth. According to David Icke's lunar matrix theory, that our universe is a complex dimensional space, and humans are limited by their cognitive abilities. We can only see 3 dimensions of the universe. In fact, higher beings have always been around us. The hallucinations, visions, and even paranormal phenomena that we experience in our lives are actually things that happen in higher dimensions. In order to prevent humans from discovering the truth of the universe, the higher civilizations created the lunar matrix to manipulate and regulate the minds and lives of Earth creatures. They can even seal the pineal gland, which is considered as the third eye of human beings, so that we can't use our 6th sense to perceive the world. As astronomer Robin Britt once said, it's far easier to explain the moon's non-existence. It was also because the moon was just the right size and distance away that created the conditions for life on Earth. and thus the birth of human civilization. But if we think about it in a different way, can we really be sure that there were no other higher civilizations on Earth before humans appeared?